Hi friends, it's time to share our August budget planning session, so stay tuned to see what's in store for us in August 2019. Hi and welcome to the Budget Bounce. I'm Jen and I am a budget and Excel nerd. So I have spreadsheets for my spreadsheets, if you know what I mean, and this month is no exception. Today we are going to plan for August 2019, so let's just jump right in. All right, so here we have the shell, and what I've done so far is I have copied over the previous month, July of 2019, into a new tab, and I have cleared out the actual column all the way down through the spreadsheet. What we need to focus on is the budgeted column for August. And what you're seeing here, if you're new here, I black out our regular base income and also our giving. And so that's already been taken care of. That's all set up in here already. And then same thing with giving. So let's just jump into all of the little things that we need to tweak to get ready for August. So first of all, I'm going to take out all of these entries, which were things that we pulled in from the sinking funds in July. Right now, I don't know if we're going to need to do that or what we're going to need to do it for, but I will fill this in as the month goes along if we have to pull money in that we're using from the sinking funds. But our base salaries are $8,945, and our total income, what you see here, is our gross salaries minus taxes. So any state, federal, and Social Security and Medicare, or those last two are FICA taxes. So this is our true disposable income, and then all of our deductions from our checks and things like that, they're all reflected as we go down here. So let's just jump into housing. So here you can see we have our mortgage and we have our utilities for gas and electric. Then we also have utilities with the city, which is water, garbage, and sewer, and that's quarterly, which was due in July, so I'm going to change that to 0 actually. And then in August, I'm expecting our mobile services to actually go down because my husband finally got his veteran information to our provider. And so I think it's going to go down to around 160, but I'm going to make it 170 just to be sure. And then internet is going to be $91.49. We know that. So that puts total housing at $1,378 and change. In transportation, we are going to have, I'm going to leave this at $280 in gas, and then OnStar is going to be $20.97, and that's actually been reduced the last couple of months. I had called, I think in May, and this used to be like $35 or $6 a month, and now it's down to $21. So we don't have any anticipated repairs for either of our vehicles, and then we won't have any registrations. I had paid for one in July, and that's done now. So $300 or $301 is what we'll have for transportation in this coming month. And then for food, it's our last month with Henry home for the summer before he starts back to school. And so he's home more and he eats more. So we up our grocery budget to $500 during the summer. And then dining will keep at $75. So $575 total for food. And then for Henry, the Henry category, so we have back to school is what we need to take care of. So all of his fees were paid in July for his senior year of high school. And I also have enough in his food service account that I don't need to do anything in August. We will have all of our back to school shopping that we need to do. And so I'm going to put $250, and that should cover any actual school supplies that he needs, plus some clothes and a pair of shoes. I'm sure he's due for a new pair of shoes. So I'm going to set that at $250. Sorry about that. And that's what I'm expecting for the month. And anything, if we don't end up using it, I'm going to put it in his sinking fund for school. So anyhow, moving on to pets, we have our cat gets groomed every month for $15. And so I expect to have that, and I also know that we're going to have to get food for the animals, so I'm going to put $80 in here. If I find a sale, it'll only be $70, but $80 is where I'm going to start at. And then that'll put us at $95 for the month for pets. Okay, moving to insurance, this is all of these things here are all deductions that come out of our checks. And so these are all staying the same. There are no changes. Actually, there's nothing changing in this category. So we'll have $736 total for insurance for next month. And then for entertainment, I don't anticipate any of this changing. So I'm going to leave it at $75.79. In health, we will have a change to our flexible spending. It's going to go up to $300 total. Matt's year, my plan year always starts on January 1 and his starts on July 1. So he just had a change. We upped how much is coming out of his check. So that brings our total between the two of us to $300 a month. The gym will stay at $10.05, and I'm going to leave this $100 for medical. That puts health at $410 for the month. In extras, I actually don't have. These were things that happened in July that we do not have anything going for those in August. So I'm going to clear this out because as far as I know, there isn't anything in extras for August. In the crap, I forgot about that. I'm going to remove carbonite since we already paid for that. And we need to go look at my annual expenses spreadsheet. So I'm just going to go do that. And let me just go look at August. So in August, we only have one thing. We have Microsoft services, Microsoft subscription fees. So this is for our Word, Excel, PowerPoint, those things that it's the way that I'm able to do this. So we pay $106.24 was the annual subscription rate last year with taxes. So I'm going to put that in here. $106.24. Then in envelopes, these are actually electronic envelopes. We do not keep cash envelopes in our house, but I am going to bump my spending. For the last 3 months, I have gone over a little bit, and so I'm going to bump mine to 60. Matt remains at 40 without a problem, so I'm going to leave that there. And then our household and miscellaneous will be at 50, bringing that envelopes to $200. In the budget bounce, the only expense that I anticipate is the subscription that I have for Adobe Spark that is $9.99 per month. And I don't have any other expectations for expenses in August. September, however, will be a different story because that's when FinCon will hit, so all of those expenses will show up here. All right, I need to make this a little bit smaller so that you can see everything here. So because when we get into savings, sinking funds, and debt, I have additional columns here. So let's look here. For emergency fund, we do $50 per month, every month, no matter what. And we also have, and these are all auto transfer, you can see, also for the kids. So there will be a total of $120 going to these accounts. And then Matt's retirement and my retirement comes out of our checks. So you can see here, the emergency fund, our previous balance is $463, and that's pretty low. It had been at $1,200 until May hit, and we had to wipe it out to help pay for our auto insurance, which we'll talk about that sinking fund in just a minute. So this ideally should be at, we're trying to get to 3,000, and if we hadn't had to use it, we would have been at 1,350 at the end of July. That's what this number would have been. But we had to wipe it out, and so here we are starting over. And anyhow, so this is going to be a focus in the coming months. I need to get this built back up. We need to get at least $1,500 in there, like as soon as possible, and then we'll build slowly by $50 a month to the 3,000 after that. So in total, we'll put $351 into savings and retirement in August, and then if we move on to sinking funds, you'll see here, this is actually a new line item. It just started in July for auto insurance, and this is at $450. Now, let me tell you, we don't pay $450 a month. The problem is that because of this big change, when my current company dropped us in June, they told us at the end of April they were going to drop us in June. So we had to shop around, and my company had never ever had an incentive to pay 6 months at a time, so I never did that. I always paid monthly and never had a sinking fund. And then when we had to change companies, everybody out there they have incentives for paying 6 months at a time, and it was going to cost almost $300 more if we paid monthly. So we used our emergency fund to help pay that $1,473 bill. So that's why this got wiped out to begin with. But we now need to, I just started in July getting this built back up. For now, I have to get this to, I have to get it to 1600 as soon as I can. And I forgot to put this formula in here so you guys could see. If you watch over here when I make these changes, you'll see how it updates everything over here. So I just need to copy and paste this over here into, so there you go. So hopefully we will be at, I don't know what that's read. Hopefully we'll be at over $800 by the end of August. That's the goal. So $450 for auto insurance, $18 for our auto registrations, $80 for our city utilities, which we pay quarterly, $40 a month for clothing, $25 to estate planning. That's so that Matt and I can do wills and some things like that we want to have drawn up. $40 to gifts. Nothing into Henry School this month. I would normally do $250, but we're actually spending it up top. So there's no sense in sending it to the sinking fund to pull it back into the checking account. I'm just going to leave it in checking and cash flow that. Holidays is $50 a month. Imaging Cosmetics is $50. This is a separate life insurance policy that I have outside of my employer that is on me only, and it is $81 a month. And then medical, this is to help build up a medical fund. Kind of goes hand in hand with the medical up above to help pay for things that we don't have FSA for. Online subscriptions, I need to change this to 80. And pet expense, okay, so I do $150 total to pets. I always have the $15 grooming up in the pet section that we saw earlier, and then I typically put 135. I would put 135 here, whoops, like this. However, if you remember, I had to spend I have $80 planned for pet food, so 80 plus that 15 is 95 up top. And so I need the total to be 150. So if we do, get this over here where you guys can see it. If we do 150 minus 95, then that means I need to send 55 into the sinking fund for pets. So that's how I do that. And then for technology, this is to save up for a different mobile phone. And that's because Matt's is dying on him. So we're going to figure out what, I think I'm going to give him my current phone, which I bought brand new a year ago. I'm going to give him my current phone, and then I'm going to go out and buy a $200 or $300 phone. For travel, and that, by the way, won't be until next year. We plan on actually saving up the money and paying for that. So the travel does not need to be $700. It needs to be $500. And so you can see over here that takes me to over $2,200, and that will be what I will use to pay for my hotel and all the expenses associated with my week-long trip to FinCon. In vacation, we are setting aside $100, and vehicles, this is like a repair replace fund, also $100, and wedding anniversary $15. So $1,734 is going into sinking funds is the plan for August. Moving on to debt. What you see here is this is the plan for the month. We will actively be paying on the things in this section and not on the things in this section. So let me start by sharing that anything in the pink font is something that it's a debt that has my name on it. Matt's name might also be on it, like this one, but it for sure has my name on it. And then anything in black those are things that only have Matt's name on them. So, and this is due to the fact that we have decided that this is how we want to do this. Matt felt really strongly that we focus on getting things paid off that are in my name. And so we're doing that first. And child support is something we don't have any choice about. That comes out of his check automatically. So, but the rest of these have all been charged off here, except for the student loans, which are in deferment. And these will actually get moved up to actively paying by January 2020. I don't know if we'll start in December, if we'll be able to start in December, or if it'll be January. And we're going to start at least paying this interest that's accruing every month. So in total, as you can see here, these are all the things that we're paying on. We plan on paying $2,007. Oh, I'm sorry, I have to change one thing. This one is only going to be $50. This one, this happens to be, I'm on a payment plan where they withdraw $25 every other week. And it was $75 because in July, it happened to be there. It's every other Tuesday. So there happened to be 3 Tuesdays that hit in July. There will only be 2 in August. So that'll take us down to $50. So that brings our total debt to $2,679 and change. That's our total debt payment is what we're planning. These are our minimums, you guys. So, and I sometimes get questions about our car payment. So for those of you that are new, if you do have questions about this, I'm going to link a video up here in the corner for you and also put it in the description box to a video that I did where we did an analysis about whether or not we should sell our car. And obviously we did not sell it. We still have this crazy payment, but it'll explain everything about why we still have this crazy payment. So going down here, you can see our total expenses add up to $8,903, and our total income is $8,945, and we're focused on this column, which is the budget column, okay? And that leaves us with $42.49. So because I want to build up our auto insurance fund as soon as possible, I'm going to add that amount here to this. And so that's going to bring it to $492.49. That's what we will plan on sending over to auto insurance in August. So here's what we have. Our total paid to debt is going to be $2,679 for the month. You can see here that our previous balance, get up here where you can see that column right here. Previous balance is $212,122. I'm estimating we'll pay about $758 in interest. And then let's see here, our end of August balance will be around $210,000. And then this number is the percent of debt that is paid based on our base income. So that income up at the top that's blacked out, what I'm doing is I'm dividing this number by that income, which was, I believe, $8,945. And that gets us to 30%. So we're using 30% of our take-home pay toward debt. Now, the other thing is that this $2,679 isn't actually the amount of debt we're killing off because we have interest and all that good fun stuff. So the amount that we're expecting of debt that will actually be killed off in the month of August, like never to return, will be $1,905 and change. So you can see here our very beginning balance was $252,326. And by the time August is over, we should break the $42,000 mark of debt that has been paid off. So, and if we do that, it'll put us at 16.7% of our total debt will have been paid off by the end of August. So while we're not paying as much debt, as I would like to right now, it's for a really good reason. So I just want to be clear on that. These are our minimums, and we're not paying any more than our minimums. We can't do our debt snowball right now. And the reason is because we need to put more into savings and sinking funds. So we have to rebuild the emergency fund, like I mentioned, and we have to get that auto insurance sinking fund to $1,600. I'm hoping by the end of October, it'll be due about 2 weeks later. I need to make that payment. So it actually won't be paid until November. Once we get past that, we can put less into auto insurance, and I'm expecting that to be $300 instead of the $450 that you saw today. and then more into the emergency fund, which, like I said, we want to build up to $3,000. So that's our August 2019 plan. If you want to hear more about our journey, then just please feel free to click on that subscribe button below. And you can also learn more on social media. If you'd like to, just look for the Budget Bounce. I post on Instagram a few times a week, so you can see things that are happening in between videos there. I also post similar things on I do have a Facebook page called the Budget Bounce. And then really Instagram is where I spend most of my time. I also have a Twitter account, but I really am just lurking out there. I don't use Twitter very much. So thank you so much for your time, and please feel free to leave any questions or comments that you might have in the comments below. And that's all I've got for you today. Until next time.